Howdy, Full Metal Cowboy slinging a watch-along of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1 Water, Chapters 1 through 3. As I am recording and uploading this watch-along, today marks the 20th anniversary since Avatar: The Last Airbender premiered on Nickelodeon. And if I recall correctly, I do think it was the first two episodes that premiered that night, but I might be wrong. But I could have sworn it was the first two episodes. But yeah, 20 years has come and went since the day this show began. And the rest is history because, boy, this became a beloved animated series. It spawned a sequel series called The Legend of Korra. It spawned comics. It also had a film adaptation directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, let's not talk about that. And there's also a live-action remake TV series on Netflix. That's a thing. And there's seasons 2 and 3 on the way for that, so okay. And as of yesterday, upon the upload of this watch along, Nickelodeon announced that they greenlit Avatar 7 Havens, the third animated series for Avatar: The Last Airbender. And there's also a upcoming animated film slated for January of 2026. So, yeah, the Avatar fanbase certainly has been getting quite an amount of content within the last few years. Whether it be some of the comics, whether it be the Netflix series, say what you will about that. And, of course, the upcoming, animated film and soon to be upcoming, third animated show. So, yeah, I suppose the franchise is going strong still. And there's a video game on the way? That's like a AAA RPG? I mean, the list just seems to go on. But for today, I'm going to be revisiting what is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I'm going to be watching this through my Blu-ray. Now, at the bottom of the screen, which is actually why you're noticing my face cam, is a little raised up. So at the very bottom, you're going to be seeing some video image. But what's also going to be very notable is that there's going to be captions shown on the bottom. The reason for this is supposed to aid on the synchronization part, because what I'm not going to be doing during these watch-alongs is is to have audio playing while I'm watching the episode. And that's because I do not want to get my watch-alongs blocked on YouTube. That's the reason why I'm showing a little bit of footage, but only from the bottom with the captions on. Now, if I was to do a watch along or a live reaction of an anime, I would just have the captions on if I'm watching that particular anime subtitled for, again, synchronization purposes. So there's that. Also, I do want to point out a couple things since I am mentioning that I am going to be watching this via the Blu-ray release. So, if you are watching Avatar: The Last Airbender through Netflix or any other streaming service, there is a chance that the Nickelodeon bumper is at the beginning of those episodes. The Nickelodeon bumper is not to be factored in when the stopwatch begins. So when I say press play, it is after the bumper, not right as the bumper plays. This is also another reason why I'm having some image shown on the bottom. It's just to help, synchronize with, alongside me. And I accidentally knocked into something. That's why I was kind of looking over here and trying to take care of that. It's actually my trash bin. I accidentally hit it. That's what happened. Now, another thing. If you're going to watch this on DVD, this is assuming you have it on DVD because I would imagine some people have the DVD of this. If you're going to watch this on DVD, there is one particular area for episode 1 that I do want to highlight before I start. Because there's going to be one point in episode 1 where it actually just kept on going, but in some pressings on DVD as well as the Blu-ray release, there is a fade to black and then fade back to the episode, even though it clearly looked like it should have just been left alone as is, like no fade in, fade outs on that. But this release I have here has a part where the like the scene and that happens fades to black, to say, hey, we're going to commercial break, and then it goes back to the show. This one has the fade to black for commercial break, but some DVD copies have it uninterrupted. So I just want to point that out. So there could be a synchronization issue upon watching episode 1, and this is the only episode. In the first episode is the only one that has the fade to black, for just a second or two. Another thing worth noting about Avatar, and this pertains to the first 4 episodes. If you're also watching this on DVD, I should also note that the DVD release of Avatar: The Last Airbender has a Haloing issue with the first 4 episodes. The Blu-ray release corrects this issue, but if you're watching this on DVD and you wonder the picture looks a little off, that's because there is a unfortunate issue on that particular disc, and unfortunately repressings of that same those same 4 episodes I don't think have been fixed. And honestly, ever since the release of this, I think they should have, just for the sake of like, hey, we're just going to downsample from the HD and have it standard and fix that issue. But no, unfortunately, I believe all DVD discs that have the first 4 episodes suffer with this issue. So but the Blu-ray release does correct this. So just a heads up on that. I know I'm spouting technical shit, and I know I'm like rambling about that kind of stuff, but hey, just thought I'd give you a little heads up in case you're like wondering, like, dude, like what's going on here. So, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the show started. So yeah, this is gonna be quite the ride again. And what's kind of cool about the Blu-ray cover here is once you open it, yeah, it's the same image, except ends with friends. I actually like that little attention to detail. If your Blu-ray copy doesn't have the sleeve jacket, I mean, that sucks that that's the case, but hey, at least you got the discs and all that, and all that jazz. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, so I had to make an edit right there because I was having some technical difficulties with my USB to HDMI capture device, or what is it, HDMI to USB capture device, and the thing was not showing up, so I actually got it fixed. All I had to do was unplug it and then plug it back in and then tinker with the settings, and that's actually what did it. So yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get episode 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender going. So, get ready to start. Let's see, how many episodes have we got on disc 1 here? We got 8. Good. Okay, that's not a bad number to go with. Alright, so get ready to play episode 1 in just a few moments. I just gotta cue this up. I am going to, however, play the episode via episode selection, because if I hit play all, it's just going to have the runtime, as you can see, be like 3 hours instead of 23 minutes, 39 seconds. But that is how long the episode is. So, yeah. Anyway, so get ready to play Avatar The Last Airbender, Book 1, Chapter 1 in 3, 2, 1, now. Happy 20th anniversary. By the way, this is called the watch along because I've already seen it. If this was my first time watching it, then this would be a live reaction. But since I've seen this, I do want to point out it is nice that this episode only has this prologue, whereas every episode after just kind of gives you the more concise version of the premise. There we go. Title screen. Created Avatar: Last Airbender, created by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. Yeah, those two names are rather big for this show. I mean, yeah, this show had several directors, but those two planned this whole show out from begin to end before it aired. Not the first series to do this, though. Babylon 5 predates Avatar. And I cite that show because it, too, pre-planned before it aired. So... you know, it's kind of nice that the show doesn't uh, it provide exposition for how bending works. It actually lets the visuals like tell you instead of dialogue explaining. So, which is actually really nice about this show. Like they don't dump exposition to explain. Like you get the visual storytelling telling for you. So that was actually again one of the reasons I love this show. And I would say modern shows really should, take note. Uh-oh. Yeah, when a girl is pissed off, you don't tell her to calm down. I'm just saying. I've made that mistake a few times. And yes, Sokka is a sexist jerk early on. Behold, an iceberg, which has nothing to do with the Titanic. Because this is a fantasy world, of course. Okay, I can imagine kids would have really liked having like something Avatar related as like a a nightlight. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't market that sort of stuff back in the day. There's a beam shooting up in the sky. Something that comic book films later did kind of annoyingly. Huh. You know what? I'm drinking coffee. Probably should have went with the jasmine tea, which I have some. But hey, maybe in later watch alongs I'll have jasmine tea going forward. Mark my words on that. I will not go without jasmine tea after watch alongs on this. After episode 3, of course. Not. I should have phrased that a little better. Yeah, there's that fade out, fade in again. That or the jump cut to black and then fade in. Yeah, some DVD pressings had that uninterrupted. And now for the ice breaking question. Here comes Ains' ice breaking question. Yes. Penguin sledding. Ah, yes. Ains' fluffy boy. Appa. And that was a pretty dumb joke. No raft. Yeah, I take the ride on the fluffy, gentle giant. And Appa does a belly flop. Yeah, because Aang's crushing on Katara right on. Yeah, keep a pin on that if you're a first time viewer of this. Oh, yes. Interesting that he mentions father, great grandfather, and great grandfather. Okay, having seen this before, it's it's like dialogue that I'm hearing upon revisit. Seriously, these guys certainly really planned certain details, and I mean cooked foreshadow pretty well. Like what Iroh just said was something to, you know, they did, like Iroh didn't say that for nothing. Like it's nice that well, it was brought up because it's gonna come back later. Ooh, a nightmare, or is it? Oh yes, can't wait to see more about that. Oh boy. It's not magic. Show off. I just rebuild it. That's female intuition there. Yeah, Iroh seems to. Oh, hold that thought in just a moment. Yeah, you know, as silly as Iroh is, he really knows his. He knows what he's saying. Like what he was teaching Zuko, pretty much like. I mean, he's a source of wisdom, but also humorous. Yeah, those kids don't want to listen to Sokka's military lessons. Yeah, because kids are not really. What is it? Yeah, because kids are usually more centered on having fun rather than being trained for war. Penguins. And Aang suddenly had the zoomies over a penguin. Nope. Penguin says nope. Aang almost caught a penguin. Yeah, just feed them fish. Feed a penguin fish, and they'll be your best friend. And you know what I just immediately thought? The sliding theme from Super Mario 64. When you race against a penguin. You know, I wonder if that theme would go together with this scene right here. I don't know. It'd be silly though. Yeah, I like that little image right there, where they were looking up at the Navy ship and like it look like the view looked imposing. That was a little detail that was. Nope. You know what's really nice about the whole visit in the Fire Nation Navy ship is that there was like a number of like bits where you saw like Qatar and aim from a distance, and it was kind of like a nice way of like uh, showing like some tone. All that. Ooh boy, not good. To be continued. All right, that was chapter one of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book One, Water. Yeah, so I'll give my thoughts real quick on episode one. Any good show sets up story and characters, themes, anything that totals up to good writing. It has the ingredients that make for a great start to a TV show or any story. So, what episode one did so well is introducing characters, not giving away too much information, but keep little crumbs that the story would later touch up on. And yes, this clearly is using the classic 3-act structure template, but it is a formula that is never done wrong if done right. So I love how we get our main character, our main principal characters introduced in episode one: Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, even his uncle, Iroh. Uh, we got a supporting character, Katara and Sokka's grand, uh, and all that. We're not introduced to a bunch of characters that we're gonna meet later. It again, it's a first episode done very well. And there's also little crumbs like, ooh, Aang being told like, oh, the Airbenders were thought to be extinct, and Aang's like, extinct? They're gonna touch. I mean, the show will touch on that. There is a reason that was mentioned. But, uh, what else is there? There was also, what was it? Iroh mentioned about, like, oh, your grandfather, your what was it? No, your father, your great grandfather, and wait, no, it's your father, grandfather, and great grandfather all tried to find him but failed. Um, there is a reason that is said, and for those that have seen the series, they know what I mean. If you're a first time viewer, okay, I might have alluded to something regarding, what Aang was informed about with the Airbenders. Um, but there's a reason that story isn't told yet. There's also the nightmare involving a storm and Aang, closing himself in ice alongside Appa. So again, a great introduction, like any good or great story should have. This first episode is well put together. And I like how it leaves stuff open for the show to later tell. I know I sound like I'm explain like a general idea of how a first episode should be done, but again, you got to keep in mind this show does have a classic template, 3-act structure. And well, the show's first episode greatly excelled at hooking the audience. But the hook actually continues in episode 2 because again, the show premiered with 2 episodes. So let's go ahead and get that through. I know I rambled about this first episode, but again, I'm just kind of letting my thoughts flow. But yeah, I'm glad to... But yeah, episode 1, great start. But technically, the start of the show still goes on in episode 2, so let's go ahead and get that ready to go. Alright, I had to make a edit because I was grabbing some coffee. Yeah. By the way, the coffee mug I got is when I saw Hamilton recently. First musical I ever went to. Although, I mean, next time I do a watch along of Avatar, I might as well use my dedicated tea mug. Yeah, I'm serious. This is my dedicated tea mug because coffee doesn't exist in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but tea does. I know my my Iroh impression's not the best, but hey, maybe I'll get better at it later in time. So anyway, let me cue this up. Oh, hold on. What's going on? Okay, got it paused. Okay, so get ready to hit play on, or let me rephrase this better. Okay. So on my mark, get ready to play Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1 Water, Chapter 2, and 3, 2, 1, play! Yeah, and there's actually some footage exclusive to the opening, aside from episode 1. Book 1 Water, Chapter 2 The Avatar Returns. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I do believe there were episode recaps, but I think they omitted them only for season 1. Kind of odd. I thought they would have restored them for the Blu-ray release. Oh, that's one way of putting it. At least he's taking accountability. Well, there is one way of having fun during war is to go cuckoo crazy. Ah, and don't go. I'll miss you. Like what? Okay, look. Voice acting in this show's great, but what was up with that bit there? Well, it didn't take long for Aang to leave the village. Yeah, another thing this show does pretty good is kind of establishing like what cultures inspired certain parts of the world. I mean, with the water tribes, it's well, some might say Eskimo, but it's actually the Inuit people that was a cultural inspiration for the Southern Water Tribe, and also Northern Water Tribe. While I'm at it, clearly the Fire Nation was culturally inspired by Japan. Especially with some of the hairstyles. Oh, yeah, there's no mistake. And as for the other nations, I'll touch more on that later. Yeah, Club ain't gonna do anything to the steel on a Navy ship. Sokka, you dummy. Move, bro. Get out the way. Nope. How about make no noise when you're charging? Ah, yes. Animate speed lines. Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, Avatar: Last Airbender was inspired by anime. Hence why you're seeing some speed lines in some bits. Okay, maybe episode 2 had a uninterrupted bit. I don't remember if the DVD release had that sudden cut to black. Well, Zuko captured the Avatar. Well, his arc kind of came and went quickly, I suppose. This show really does know how to implement wise elders into the story. I mean, that's one thing I really like is that the elders are not a much to see in the whole science, if you know what I mean. Excuse me. Ah, yes. Fire Nation goons. Easily thwarted. Okay, okay, let's be real here. The Fire Nation goons are designed to be like that because Star Wars was what inspired or what was it? The showrunners were inspired by Star Wars, so they were essentially this show's equivalent to Stormtroopers. Although their masks, I mean, I guess are a little intimidating, but they're also kind of, I don't know, goofy looking just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, Sokka got Appa to fly. Man, it seems like episode two when it aired must have had quite the amount of commercial breaks compared to episode one. Wow, just did he hit his head or something? Kind of took a while to get up. And also, like I said, without giving away exposition, this little fight here kind of shows how firebenders and airbenders are like in combat. Airbenders are naturally more agile, whereas firebenders are more about the aggressive. Because with firebending, it's like they punches and kicks and all that. Like you don't need dialogue to explain. Oh, airbenders are naturally more agile. Like yeah, like you don't need dialogue to explain that. It is Aang's fluffy boy. That's what that is. Yes, because he is the Avatar. Yeah, nice going. For the last time, Sokka, it's not magic. Like, I gotta botch the snort there. Well, today was almost the day that Zuko caught the Avatar. Oh. Ah, the little shadow looming over. Yeah. It's kind of. I bet that show was kind of saying, "Hey, we're gonna touch on this later, guys." And I like the little glimmer of hope with the rays of sunshine. Oh yeah, mixed with dark clouds. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, I swear, like some, if this imagery like in the background was like intentional, yeah, I mean that's something I would have not thought of upon first or second viewing, or it could just be coincidental like imagery, I guess. Ah, directed it by Dave Filoni. Yeah, right. Dave Filoni was involved in this show, but only for season one, and he would later be involved in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is pretty great when it's really good. I mean, it essentially enhanced the prequel trilogy for me. So yeah, that was episode 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, Water. So yeah, these first two episodes set up the show just right. So it's great. Like honestly, when I first watched this, I was like, man, this show is actually pretty good. Like upon 2 episodes, I really dig it. All right, now on to episode 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, Water. And I had to make a little edit there because I wanted to go grab myself one more cup of coffee for this watch along. And in between that time, my sweet fluffy boy Noir joined me. Why, yes. He is a cat. A few words, I guess. In terms of cat or feline vocalization is concerned. Anyway, let's go ahead and get one more episode out of the way and call this a viewing session of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So let me just queue up episode 3. Real quick. Give me a minute. Oh, whoops. Okay, there we go. Alright, so here we go. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1 Water, Chapter 3. In 3, 2, 1, play. So while those first 2 episodes set up the show very well, it was this episode that convinced me this wasn't like other kids' shows. Well, for the time period it came out, of course. That being the decade of the 2000s. I'll touch more on that after the episode. Book 1 Water, Chapter 3, The Southern Air Temple. And yeah, this is the only occasion where we don't have the white background in the episode title. This is the... yeah, that's one oddity. And yeah, it does sound like the episode recaps are omitted in the Blu-ray release. The DVDs didn't have them either. Okay, clearly there's probably different animators on this episode because some of the facial designs look a little different. Like, I understand there's like different animators and all that, and you know some episodes are handled differently. Mmm. This guy. Jason Isaacs plays Commander Zhao. Lucius Malfoy, anyone? Oh, hold on. Yeah, the captions were a little they were cut off a bit, so I'm gonna try to. Hold on, let me see if I get. There we go. That's why my player just like made a little. Hold on, Noir. Yep. Yep. Some men are like that. Yeah, it looks very barren too in terms of landscape. No, hold on, Noir. Yep. They're, she wants to protect him from the emotional trauma. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that clearly something happened to the Airbenders. It's just, yeah. Although because of network restrictions, they couldn't allude to like, oh, the Fire Nation committed genocide. Yeah, they had to be very careful how to phrase things in the show. That's the one. That's the one drawback with the show, but it's not really the creators' fault. It's the network. So it's an area I forgive the show for. Multiple flying sky bisons. Plenty of fluffy boys. Yeah, Gyatso's pretty much like Gyatso's kind of like Ain's what is it? Like Gyatso is like to Ain as Iroh is to Zuko. I mean, both wise, but they have a funny side to them. Yeah, except it doesn't work like that. Yeah, Sokka should have stocked up on some lunches on the road or on the flights. Why did I say on the road? Wow, obvious digital effects. That kind of looks like late 90s, early 2000s Disney animated film effects. But it doesn't bother me too much. It was just pretty obvious. Oh yeah, so Aang, Aang could what was it? Aang and the others are the A plot of this episode, whereas Zuko's scenes are the B plot of the episode, and that is no mistake. Actually, let me rephrase that. That's no mistake. Uh, there's a very good reason why that's the case. And one's an earthbender, one's a firebender, there's another airbender. Because he's the Avatar. Hmm? Hmm. I know who that is. Yes, shut up. It's a lemur. Nope. Aang just wants another fluffy boy for a friend. Hello. Ah, honor. Get used to that name. Get used to that word being thrown around. This is like after school fights. Then again, Zuko was a teenager. Except this isn't in the afternoon. It's at sunset. Ah, freezing and just only having his left side of his or the left side of his face. Yeah. Seriously, the way the show does its framing is like they know how to frame certain scenes. And yeah, here we go. This is hey, no more. Easier. You know, I have a feeling the visuals were dimmed on purpose because I think maybe to avoid photosensitivity. Although personally, I wish they would have just left the scene intact and then just say, "Hey, look, this episode might be sensitive for photosensitive individuals or something." Mm. Hey, over here. I'll let you out in a moment. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bonk you. And to pet you, not bonk you in the head. And yes, another thing I gotta make note: martial arts plays a vital part in the creative inspirations. Not just Star Wars, not just anime, but yeah, martial arts definitely plays a big part in this. And it was actually different forms of martial arts that were implemented in different benders, like fire, earth, wind, air, or water, earth, fire, air. I think I might have said that a little off at first, but I really need to watch martial arts films. It's just something I don't watch very much of. Darn. I love Uncle Ira in this show. Yeah, Ira loves his tea. Oh, maybe the video content wasn't altered after all because I'd look there's a little bit of flickering there too. Hard to tell. Hey, Noir. Darn man. Oi, oi, Noir, off my keyboard, please. Thank you. I thought he was gonna accidentally end my recording. Yes, Aang has acquired a new fluffy boy. Yeah, and the reason he named him Momo is because Momo is Japanese for peach, and that's what Momo was holding, a peach. Yeah, it was kind of a nice pun there. And those little noises he makes are adorable. And that was episode 3. Yeah, so. Oh. When I saw this episode for the first time, I knew that Avatar The Last Airbender was going to be something special. Yeah. And once again, there's like a little clue about what was going to be that was going to be touched on later. Again, the show doesn't reveal everything at once when they first uh, touch upon certain things. So, yeah. Avatar Last Airbender. As I've said, great show. Man, it actually feels good to revisit this again. And it's been like maybe a little. Goodness, I don't remember how long it's been since I last watched this. But yeah, it's it's as good as I remember it. That's for sure. But yeah, 3 episodes in, they really knew how to. It really knew how to hook the audiences in, and oh, this is only just the beginning. And I can't wait to talk more about this show with later episodes and later seasons. So, yeah, we're I'm back to this one, all right, and I can't wait to engage in conversation about this show through the comments and all that. And that's if people discover this watch along and all that. But yeah, this watch along will continue at a later time. And yeah, this is actually the first one on this very new channel, Full Metal Cowboy Watches. So yeah. So as for next time, with my Avatar: The Last Airbender watch-alongs, I will be doing chapters 4 through 6. So it's going to be another triple regarding the episode count. So yeah, that is going to do it. You can find me on my Linktree page. I have a bit of a speech gaffe when it comes to R's and W's. But I do have a Linktree where you can find me on various platforms like, well, aside from YouTube, you can also find me on Twitch, which is where I do my gaming streams. You can also find me on platforms like Twitter. I don't care for the rebranding name of X. You can also find me on Blue Sky. You can also find me on other platforms, which will be shown on my Linktree page. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you for chapters 4 through 6 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, Water. Take care.